multiple V8s of the Trans Am sports sedans added the noise, and they joined the little brother Trans Am Lights and the Formula Fords in producing the on-track aggro. Mike McRoberts reports.
People have been picking that things could get pretty intense in the New Zealand Trans Am Championship opener. It's a coming together of two classes, 5-litre V8s running on true Trans Am rules, and 6-litre American heavy metal from the South Island's Oscar series. And now in the first corner of the first race, the fastest cars from each class give new meaning to that term, coming together.
Big one, Kerry Jones, right around several times over there, and right up.
Michael Johnston's view shows the two Camaros in the distance, Shane Drake inside, Kerry Jones outside and off. Jones is out on the spot and Drake slows with suspension damage. Alan Ferguson wins from Johnston and Grant Sylvester.
Going fairly fast down in that corner, so what do? You've got idiots like that to race with. Where's Motor Racing New Zealand going?
I can only put it down to, is inexperience and not looking in the mirrors.
Race 2 immediately shaped up as a replay, only this time, thankfully, the Camaros stay apart, just. Jones is soon out with a busted diff anyway, but Drake bounces back with a win, ahead of Sylvester and Johnston. A charge from the back in the reverse grid finale gives Drake a second win. Sylvester's Mustang is second, and Ferguson's third. Brazilian Antonio Pizzoglia, a team already being groomed for Formula One, starts from pole to lead his debut Formula Ford Championship race. But soon he's embroiled in a rugged contest with young Aucklander Daniel Templeman. One that ends in these wild moments with a lap to go. Just as well, Templeman used to be an off-road racer. But series leader Greg Tullett's patient wait behind them pays off. He comes out of the ruckus to win from Templeman and Pizzoglia. Tullett fights them off in race 2 for his 4th straight win. With poleman Wayne Huxford's car braking at the start, Mark Peterson soon leads the first Master Trade Trans Am Lights race, with Chris Butler leading the bunch, fighting for second. It comes to blows. This is Paul Manuel versus Ashley Stitchbury.
Paul Manuel, yeah.
Butler takes second, with Manuel and Craig Pistorius next in race 2. It's Butler from Peterson, with Manuel holding Stitchbury up for third. And in race 3, former series leader Huxford finally takes some points. He's 5th behind another Peterson win, this one from Manuel and new points leader Butler. After initial pressure from teammate Jason Richards, BMW Super Stand-in Brett Riley goes away to win the first New Zealand Touring Car Championship race. But even Riley is surprised in the reverse grid race, and the gaps open on cue, here letting him take Richards and Jeff Short in one swoop. He soon passes early leader Kevin Pateman to head for his 4th straight win. Barry Tomlinson, 3rd in race 1, holds off Richards for 2nd.
Coming up, one of the world's top golfers with advice for New Zealand's best.
I think he should get rid of that beard. You know, I think it's very lazy of him not to shave his beard off.
But next, we head across the ditch for the latest from the Australian Open. Stay with us.
Friday on Maggie's Garden Show, a high country garden in central Otago.
I've been trying to blend the garden with the landscape and keep the vistas of the wonderful mountain views.
Seizing a tiger by the tail, exporting water lilies to Asia.
Our flowers going to Singapore. Wow, wow. Ran out and dug another lake.
And you're cordially invited to the wedding of the year.
Congratulations, you two, and thank you for being a major part of Maggie's Garden Show for 1997.
Maggie's Garden Show, 7:30 Friday on 1.
way some people talk,
Looks like you had a good holiday.
it's as though getting the things you want has nothing to do with saving.
Some people have all the luck.
Thoroughbred Saver from the National Bank.
Now this is an eye-opener. Sleepyhead beds have so much in them. It's no wonder Sleepyhead is #1 in the business. Phew! I never realised how much went into a Sleepyhead bed. Like TorqueZone, the amazing spring system which helps prevent roll together. Interesting term, that. And latex gold rubber. The only natural latex you'll find in a bed. If I don't get to heaven, this'll be near enough.
MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O, and on that farm he had
If the driver of this car had kept his speed to 100k, here's where he would have stopped. If he'd stopped here, his wife wouldn't take the full impact of the crash and die instantly. If he'd stopped here, the last thing Sally will ever hear wouldn't be the sound of her own neck breaking. And Nikki wouldn't break several ribs and her collarbone. As for Jim, well, Jim could have avoided broken bones and a broken heart. But anyway, it's too late for all that now, because this isn't where it stops. It's where it all begins.
ITM offers you great value in building products and service. If you're looking for serious building supplies, come to ITM, building suppliers nationwide.
We thought about shaving, so you could think about something else. Braun, smart thinking.
Oh, what is your special wish, miss, on this very special Christmas?
Twinings, tea caddies and gift packs make ideal Christmas treats for everyone.
And a happy new year.
The National Bank's Thoroughbred Saver pays a higher rate of interest than a normal savings account, with no strings attached. Call now if you already have an account with us. If not, come in and see us.
Great to have you back. Well, the Premier Golf Tournament Down Under started today. This year's Australian Open has the best field in years, including Phil Mickelson and Mark Calcavecchia, along with last year's Order of Merit winner Peter Lonard, rising star Stuart Appleby, and defending champion Greg Norman.
Here is Greg Norman on this short par 3, the second of 138 metres.
Yeah, just a good solid 8-iron for Greg Norman. And what a brilliant shot. Tough hole, Sandy, 201 metres. Gee, that was a good swing he put on that.
Looks all right too, doesn't it?
Oh, what a result. Oh.
Greg Norman had this putt for a 2.
Down the slope, left to right borrow. Look at that. Yes!
Lonard going extremely well at the top of the leaders board at 5 under with Darren Anderson.
This to go 6 under.
Go.
Oh, yes.
This is a 6-iron for Peter Lonard at the last. Wind is behind. Into the northerly, it's possible to be hitting 2 drivers here at this hole, but not today. Excellent shot by Lonard and an opportunity to go to 9 under. This is for a round of 63.
Well done.
And Paul Devonport, his name at the bottom of the leaderboard there, is in a tie for 16th after the first round. Well, the World Cup of Golf ended at the weekend with a big win to the unfancied Irish. Next year, New Zealand hosts the event at Gulf Harbour, north of Auckland. And Pete, you're not too bad with a club, I hear. You sank a 15-footer. You must fancy your chances for the team.
When was that?
Oh, that's what I hear. Sounds very impressive.
Yeah, actually, it was the 21st take for the television episode on that note.
Thank you, thank you.
But, however, Sports Night was at the World Cup on Kiowa Island in South Carolina and discovered 3 of the world's top golfers plan to play in New Zealand in 1998.
The US Open champion, the British Open champion and the PGA champion. All majors winners, all planning to head down under next summer.
The interest is really growing, and you know, yeah, we're going down to New Zealand next year, which is great. You know, I've never played golf down there.
Ernie Els, the swing king, a glittering talent on the international stage. He will be a major draw card.
Well, the World Cup's really grown in stature the last couple of years, especially I would say the last 4 years. You know, I've played it since '92. I missed out a couple in between, but I've played the last couple of World Cups, and I must say the attention of the public, the media, and the players have really grown. You know, last year in South Africa we had 20 more thousand people every day that came to the golf course, and golf is not the biggest sport in South Africa.
And he'd like to take on good mate Frank Nobilo in the World Cup format.
Yeah, I think Frankie's, what can I say, you know, he's a good friend of mine and everything, but I think he should get rid of that beard. You know, it's I think it's very lazy of him not to shave his beard off. You know, but I'll probably see him down in South Africa, hopefully, in February, and maybe I'll show him how a real cricket side plays cricket also.
But Els will be just one player in the top 10 to compete. Colin Montgomery has confirmed his availability, and Davis Love III is likely to lead the US team.
I know golf is really growing in New Zealand. They got great courses. I've got some friends that are down there playing golf, and they love it. And I look forward to someday coming down and playing golf and catching some fishing while I'm there.
You know some movie stars down there as well.
Yeah, I'm gotten to be friends with Kevin Sorbo of Hercules, and so he's been telling me how great it is down there, so we'll have to get down and visit him soon.
Love's partner Justin Leonard also has his sights set on the tournament.
I would certainly love to travel to New Zealand and see that part of the world that I've never been to. You know, anytime you have a chance to be a part of something special and, you know, that has a worldwide focus, you know, I think it's something that you want to try to take advantage of.
New Zealand's quite well known for its whitewater rafting, fishing, bungee jumping, all sorts of crazy pursuits. So do those have any interest to you?
Oh, I'm sure we could find a few crazy pursuits while there.
All in all, the World Cup appears to be attracting a world-class lineup.
And that is very good news, and that was the Golf Show's Phil Smith in Kiowa Island, South Carolina last week. Now it's time for the plays of this week.
Touchstone Pictures presents Attack of the Killer Moth. No, actually, it's just Shane Warne getting hassled by a bug. Is that a toupee he's wearing? And how's this for a snazzy move? Oh, yes. The Kansas punter, i.e. kicker only, that's Luis Aguila, throws a pass which works. Oh, fantastic. And is immediately crushed to death by a linebacker. Is he wearing a toupee? Now the gunner's a terrible back pass here, then ends up going through David Seaman's legs. Now, why are you saying, why is this a player of the week? Because I'm a Tottenham Hotspur supporter, and believe me, we need all the laughs we can get at the moment. Wonder if David Seaman wears a toupee. Now David Tua, back to what he does best, beating bums. I mean, talk about out of shape. This guy's tits are bigger than Dolly Parton's after the breast reduction. Speaking of Tua, Kevin Barry, come on, lose the toupee, fella. Lose the Firkin Merkin. Speaking of bald, there's George Foreman. Tell you what, it was his fight, it was George's fight. Boo, rigged, etc. Not bad, though, for a 49-year-old who doesn't wear a toupee. Are you tired of losing your ball on the roof? Well, switch to real tennis, because it doesn't matter. You see, real tennis is a combination of tennis and squash, and sadly, it never really caught on. Gee, I wish ballroom dancing hadn't really caught on. Still, at least none of the players are wearing a toupee.
Coming up, a huge lift for a heavyweight who remembers one of the greats.
I just wish Don Oliver was there to see it. Would have been nice to have him there, but his wife was there anyway, so it was good.
Back soon.
Your
sitting in the driver's seat.
No, I'm not.
You put your name to a recent paper.
No, I didn't.
Well, it's here in black and white.
No, it's not.
That'll be £7.40, man.
No, it won't. No.
Answering the tough questions on The Fast Show, 10 o'clock Friday on 1.
In some countries, one of the most dangerous things you can do is drink the water, or eat food that's been made or washed in water. So if you're traveling abroad, get protection from hepatitis A. Get a shot of Havrix. There's a 1 in 300 chance of contracting hepatitis A in most developing countries, even in a good hotel. The risk is 6 times greater for backpackers. Ask your doctor for details of Havrix.
Wouldn't it be great if you didn't have to pay off your credit cards? Well, that's unrealistic. How ridiculous. But Freedom Cashline does give cheaper credit to pay off those dearer debts. Freedom juggles much better than I do. Call Freedom on 0800 105 100.
Introducing the great new range of Holden Rodeos. Reliable and tough as ever. We've worked hard on your comfort. Let's work. Time to get things moving. Let's work. 'Cause you know what. Look for the new petrol and turbo diesel Rodeos at your Holden retailer now. Let's work this Holden Rodeo. Let's work.
We asked a typical teenager how many oranges went into 1 glass of Citrus Tree orange juice. If you didn't catch that, the answer was 4, enough for your daily dose of vitamin C. Citrus Tree, it's a glass of goodness.
The Maglite flashlight. We could go on and on about the durability of the Maglite flashlight. Or we could just hit it with a Mag truck.
Over 25 years ago, we began our commitment to innovation. It costs a little more, but we think it results in savings for all of us. Saving you money with strict quality control. Saving time with advanced technology. Saving your garden by understanding its different needs. And saving our most precious resource, water. So if you're choosing garden products, making a good choice is easy. Because nothing's as good as Nilex Gardena.
Super Liquor, Super Specials. Southern Draft cans brewed for taste and value. $19.90 a 2 dozen tray. Spates cans, Pride of the South. 12-pack, $12.90. Check for the in-store Super Spot Specials. Super Specials at Super Liquor.
Tiger Woods, the story so far. Now see the full story on 3 incredible videotapes. Call 0800 Tiger 3. The story so far. Get it today.
The face is a little older and a little wiser, but there's no mistaking the voice. This is Joe Cocker at his best.
Got to be loved and be loved and be loved.
Joe Cocker's new album, Across from Midnight, featuring Could You Be Loved and the new single, N'oubliez jamais. Across from Midnight, 12 stunning new tracks from Joe Cocker.
In New Zealand, Murray Halberg signs autographs after a grueling day's training for the 3 mile event. Lap after lap, the wily Halberg patiently trailed behind Canada's Bruce Kidd, even when Kidd tested his rivals in the 10th and 11th laps. Halberg waited until 330 yards from the finishing line. He put in his final sizzling burst and sprinted away from Australia's Ron Clark and the Canada Kidd. A tactical triumph for Murray Halberg. Halberg's time, 13 minutes, 34.2 seconds.
A great month for New Zealand sport 35 years ago. Now, last week, Pete, we heard about how you listened to Barry Devonport's swim across the Cook Strait. What was your reaction when Sue Murray had his victory there?
Same radio, same kitchen, I seem to remember, April, but you're just absolutely fantastic for a little guy in Southland growing up to hear once again that it was a gold medal for New Zealand. And funny, these days, April, I guess you're of the age where you grew up with metrics, but it's funny even for somebody of my generation to talk about 3 miles. But those Empire Games 35 years ago, this week, in fact, a very successful time for New Zealand. Val Young won the shot put. Peter Snell took out the 880 yards and the mile titles, those imperial distances again, and the Coxed 4 claimed gold in the rowing. Plus, the late Don Oliver won silver in the heavyweight weightlifting. And Oliver's been a huge inspiration for another Kiwi strongman.
I started on 190, and that was a breeze. Really went well, and then I went to 200.5, 200 being the official record, and I broke that, and I jumped to 205.5, which, if anyone knows, Don Oliver got the most, being 205, and I wanted to break that.
Oh, yes! He's got the ball! Great stuff! Great stuff!
I just wish Don Oliver was there to see it. Would have been nice to have him there, but his wife was there anyway, so that was good. I've never seen so many people crying. Must have been the dust on the platform.
29 years ago, I was a young man and I had just passed my referee's exam, and I happened to be refereeing that session in which Don Oliver lifted that huge, huge weight. And now, 29 years later, for my athlete to come through and break that record where no one else could, that was just an absolute magic moment.
You may think you're doing damage, but you haven't scratched the surface. The girls are always screaming for the redhead one to rock.
Yeah, the last Commonwealth Games I didn't lift that well. I lifted 330 to qualify, and I only did 317, which really annoyed me. So basically I've got a few things to amend and just go for it. I'm ranked 3rd in the Commonwealth at the moment. I'd like to see that remain that way, if not better.
When I say 3, 2, 3, 2, 1,
A sure starter for next year's Commonwealth Games. We wish him all the very best.
Indeed, and the man who created all the flash video images there was Phil Green.
Now, just to tire you out before you get some Zeds, we leave you tonight with triathlon action from that wonderful, wonderful, wonderful city of Christchurch.
Whereabouts were you born, April? It doubled as a national multi-sport championship event, a gruelling run, bike, paddle from the city to Littleton and back.
Now, watch out for number 84, Simon Yarrell, a convincing overall winner. So next week, see you then. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Good night.
Very hard, especially because I've got another run to do tomorrow.
Marvellous effort. Congratulations. And oddly enough, it's his mother who puts the medal on. Yeah.
Well done.
Embark on a journey to the famous Robinson Crusoe Islands.
A man called Alexander Selkirk was abandoned on this coast in 1704.
and lived alone here until his rescue in 1709.
Michael Palin discovers a land with a unique blend of tranquil beauty and haunting power.
At El Tatio, in the mountains high above the desert, the Earth's crust bubbles and boils.
In association with Singapore Airlines and Air New Zealand, travel full circle with Michael Palin, 8:30 Tuesday on 1.